witnesses will?
Uh,
All right. So
so
you're
I
telling me
guess my
that
client would like to admit to another kidnapping charge
Yes,
and an extortion charge against Mr. Guzman?
this is correct. I was going to let him take the fall, but it's just not fair.
so here's the deal. The actions that were taken were by Mr. Guzman.
Yeah, dude.
Now, the court will show leniency if during these proceedings, the court
We're
will
just
show
trying to cost
leniency
him
if
time.
you can prove
So,
that's a true statement.
do you have video of you taking him at gunpoint or anything like that, man?
I'm poor. I cannot afford video equipment.
Well, at the end of the day, it was his own actions that led to
They know.
that led to everybody
They
being
know.
here in this room tonight.
I hate when people do this,
Right?
man. I could have fought
So-
these extortion
It's not
charges.
true.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna let the evidence reveal itself. So, your pleas have already been entered. Right now, Mr. McFly has the floor, and he's going to be addressing the only facts that are the only charges against you.
Thank you for the follow, Bloody Blade 112. Slice! I know what's up with that shit. Oh, this should be fun. This should be a lot of fun.
Denton, will your client
Mr. Guzman,
be, taking the stand?
please take the stand, sir.
All right, Mr. Guzman, up here on my right. All right, repeat after me. I swear that the evidence
Pen
I
machine.
shall give, or testimony. I swear that the testimony I shall give. Mr. Guzman,
Yes.
please repeat after me. I swear that the testimony I
What's
shall
up, Skull
give
1?
Swear that the testimony I shall give
will be the truth,
will be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
All right, Mr. McFly, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Guzman. To my knowledge, you were one asking for money for hostages, am I correct?
That's right.
Okay, and how much money did you ask for these hostages?
I don't recall.
I know, Patrick, but
recall.
we're just
Was
being
there-
a pain in the
there a
ass, just
specific amount
fighting.
for each, or
Just
How
fighting.
did that go down?
Been a while. I don't recall.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I have no further questions for Mr. Guzman.
Very well, Mr.
I'd like to
Gaddington. Mr.
Mr. Guzman, stay on the stand. I got to question you real quick.
Go and remain until I dismiss you. Mr.
All right.
Gaddington.
All right, Mr. Guzman. Do you know any of the people in this courtroom from previous encounters?
No.
You don't know any of the people in this courtroom? You've never met anybody here before?
That person right there, right in front of me.
Just him.
Yes, him.
All right. Have you had problems with the law before?
A couple of tickets.
Couple of days. All right. Do you think these men would have any reason to dislike you or attempt to sabotage you?
Oh yes, they tend to get very personal when they see me.
Can you give me an example?
For example, that man over there to the left seems to call me the cancer of Lakeside,
I can't hear you.
and I actually have it on GoPro.
Cancer of Lakeside, huh?
Are you? Let me just. Are you pointing at somebody who's in the audience here, or who are we talking about?
He just left actually, but I believe he's Officer von Bismarck.
Okay, that's not a person who's actually on trial here.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
let's keep it
Your
to the
Honor,
point.
I'd like to object. What exactly? Never mind.
Yes, that would be it, and sustained. But
No further questions.
I'd like
all
to
right,
call...
hold on, Mr. McFly. It's here to redirect. Any further questions from Mr. Chepo Guzman?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down.
You get cheddar by just hanging out in the channel. In 10 minutes, you'll have enough for a ticket on
Your Honor,
the raffle.
I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Williams to the stand now at this time.
All right, Mr. Benjamin Williams, please take the stand. And repeat after me. I swear that the testimony I shall give
I swear the testimony I shall give
will be the truth,
will be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the
So
truth.
help you God.
All right, your witness, Mr. McFly.
Mr. Williams, how well do you recall the events of today?
Very well.
All right. So how much money was asked for the hostage?
From what I recall, I honestly couldn't recall. I was somewhat preoccupied.
So, do you remember at any point that money was asked for each hostage? At any point?
I do not remember the specific. I do remember the offer from the state. From
And what was that offer?
It was 15,000
Facing
for a
backwards
hostage,
up there, all
but,
crazy.
as we had already informed Mr. Guzman that he would be negotiating, and that is not acceptable. So
So basically, you guys wanted more money per hostage, correct?
I wanted more money per hostage. He didn't have a say in it.
You wanted more on it. So okay, you wanted more money per hostage.
That's correct.
So you plead not guilty to 2 counts of extortion, right?
That's correct.
And how many hostages did you have?
We had at a time 3, and one had passed away of natural causes.
Okay, but initially, when the robbery started, how many hostages did you have, not including Mr. Guzman?
3.
3 hostages.
That's
so
correct.
you were using. So from what I understand, you're trying to use each one of these hostages as monetary value to gain money from the police or gain some sort of substance from the police of monetary value.
That's not.
Yes, that is true.
I have no further questions.
All right, your witness, Mr. Gangton.
When do you recall when you guys made a counteroffer to the state's offer?
Yes.
And what was your counteroffer?
I told Mr. Guzman to accept no less than 100,000 per hostage.
Per hostage or for all the hostages? Because Mr. Guzman said it was for all the hostages.
Well, he may have been confused. I mean,
So
he's
it
probably
was
most
for
likely
each.
in fear of his life.
Hold on. You have an objection?
So you claim that you.
Mr. Gangton, hold on.
The defense attorney is testifying.
Your
I'm sorry?
objection is, say again?
Objection, Your Honor. The defense attorney is testifying.
To what?
You just stated who said what.
I'm gonna have to overrule.
I see.
That. Go ahead, Mr. Gangton.
Okay, Mr. Williams. You say you kidnapped Chapo Guzman and forced him to do all of this. Do you have any substantiating reasons we should believe that?
Of course, consider this: if we were, if worse things went to worse, and we had been apprehended, who do you think that they would focus on the charges?
I'd like to object, Your Honor, on unsubstantial testimony.
I'm out.
Unsustained?
Unsustained?
Testimony basically means
Unsustained?
this has nothing to do with what we're talking about at this moment.
I did like the idea about the beanie. Okay.
Right. Yeah, proceed. You're drawing a conclusion too soon, is what he's saying, Mr. Gangton.
All
This
right.
is his witness. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. All right, Mr. Williams, have you ever met anybody in this room before? Or had interactions or run-ins with them?
Only Mr. Guzman.
And was there any particular reason you chose to kidnap Mr. Guzman?
Yes, his dislike of the law enforcement in this area is well known. Of Mr. Guzman specifically.
I'd like to object, that's opinionated.
Say again.
I'd like to object, Your Honor, that's opinionated.
He's a witness. He's allowed to have his own opinion.
He's trying to define the relationship between both of these defendants at this time. That's what that. So I'm gonna overrule that. Go ahead.
All right. Did you know Mr. Guzman prior to this event?
All I knew of him was some things I have heard, through different criminal relationships I've had.
Do you belong to a criminal organization?
None organized. I do not.
So you are not a cartel member?
I am not. I don't have any tattoos traditionally associated with cartel membership. As you can see, I'm Mr. Guzman, identifying.
Money and how many?
Go ahead,
Evidence
Counselor.
shows one act.
Your Honor.
All right. I no further question for this client, for this witness, Your Honor.
One moment, Mr. Williams. Mr. McFly is your redirect.
My biggest question about the whole thing, Your Honor, was that anything to do with the extortion charges, or are we bringing up another case?
He is clearly just establishing a relationship between these two defendants. That is all. But do you have the final questions? Any final questions?
Okay, well, I'd like to cross-examine the fact of their relationship.
You can ask him any question you like. He's
Back to
clearly
their
your witness.
relationship.
All right.
Someone kept these fools. Someone kept these fools.
Mr. Williams, you're saying that you've never met Mr. Guzman before.
In events prior to this, I have not.
A mistrial because we can't try him for both the kidnapping and the
I don't see how that's relevant.
I'm just asking.
No, hold
honestly,
on.
so I can
You
get a
have to
timeline.
ask the question, Mr. Williams.
I've been living in Lakeside for a little over a week.
Okay, that makes sense then. And so how did the events come about? If you're going to admit to kidnapping Mr. Guzman, how did that come about? What was the story behind that?
Fall back.
I'm a very ambitious individual.
What I'm asking honestly is like, how did you take him hostage? What was the events that led to you taking him hostage and him being at the bank?
Simply put, I had encountered him on the Morrison Highway outside of Morrisontown. I, through use of violent force, coerced him into my vehicle, told him he needed to comply. If not, he wouldn't be making out of the situation alive. And I told him the stipulations. And I told him, basically using him as a hostage, to coerce other members of some other individuals' assistance as needed.
Okay, I understand that. I have no more further questions for you, Mr. Williams. Your Honor, I'd like, once I have a chance, I'd like to call another witness.
Certainly. Mr. Williams, you may step down. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Counselor, you have the option.
I'd like to call Officer Von Bismarck to the stand now, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Von Bismarck. All right, Mr. Von Bismarck.
Fire.
Repeat after me. I swear that the testimony I shall give
I swear that the testimony I shall give
will be the truth,
will be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
Right?
Oh man,
You're a witness.
Officer Bismarck.
Yes, sir.
Earlier you had told me that Mr. Guzman had ammo on him. Is this correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
What type of ammo was that?
7.62 by 5.9, which is used in the AKS silenced.
Okay, and the evidence you gave me earlier, that did show that Mr. Guzman had an AK capable of using those rounds. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
I would like to